different people. I love how people, someone once told me, like, friends, everything in life, but, like, some friends are supposed to be transient, and they're supposed to be here for a short time.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to teach you something,
right.
or maybe you're supposed to teach them something, or maybe it's just a distraction. I don't know what the purpose of they are, but, like, they have limited days in your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you ever sometimes look at someone like, oh, I'm really enjoying this moment with you,
But I know our friendship is going to end.
limited.
Yeah.
And it may not be a bad way. Maybe not because they're a bad person, but it's you know,
Yeah.
it's not gonna last forever.
It's not,
And so, yeah.
Yeah. No, but I have this weird thing, and it's with everyone. I can quite automatically. It might not be within like the first day or whatever, but very close within the beginning of a friendship or relationship, I know either you feel, and it doesn't matter how great I care about that person, how great I think that person is. I'm like, yeah, you finna be around for a long time, or this is gonna end at some point.
But,
And then I might be extremely close with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it might be the best friend that I've ever met in my entire life, and I always know that person might not be around for a long period of time, and that's okay. There's no problem with that. And like Yasmin said, there's lessons. People are always here for lessons. And like I was going to say that I feel like I went through a period where I made friends that I weren't going to have for a long time because I needed to learn how to remove myself from situations without them being removed themselves. Because while growing up, I was always like...
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah, while growing up, I was always like, I'll wait for God to remove that. Like, when it's time, it's their time. And like I said, sometimes they will be removed by themselves, but sometimes you have to learn
to remove them
yourself and not feel bad about it.
Exactly.
Because those times when I did have to remove the people, I felt really shitty about it. I was really upset about it. Because I cherish my friendships, whether or not I think they're going to be around for a long time. I cherish all of my friendships. I literally do. But I had to realize that it was a lesson for me to learn that sometimes people need to be cut off, and so that when success does happen, like things like now with the podcast, I was like, I did not give a shit because small little things were happening as I was growing up, and I was like, well, you need to go. You need to go. Yeah. You need to go. Do you get what I mean? And now I'm at a point where it's like, oh, you need to go. Okay, bye. That's fine. But like, I had to get there for myself because we have to learn that, like, you have to be strong about some stuff. Yeah. You know, and
it's so hard because even with that, like, you can actually be so stubborn.
Yeah.
Like, Zara, there's been so many times I know within myself, it's like, this either friendship or whatever is not gonna last, but it's just like, well, I want it to last. I want us to be friends for a very long time.
Yeah. And I'll hold on to it.
Oh my days. Until it actually has to walk away from me.
Until there's a problem.
Removed.
Yeah. Until there's an actual problem.
Issue where there's no point of return.
Yeah.
When it didn't have to get to that. Because now I learned that I had to cut you off, but my feelings are also hurting the process.
Yeah, and I also now look at you different.
Right.
And sometimes it doesn't have to get to that point.
Yeah.
You know, it does not have to get to that point. And I realized that, like, I would like decide that I was waiting for that person to be removed. So I would have all evidence I needed to remove that person and then be like, when it's their time, they'll go. What, bitch? No, like, just cut them off. Like, do you get what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, literally, even my dad said to me one time, I think I was like maybe 17. My dad was like, you don't let go of people until there's literally someone to replace them. Ooh. It was really bad at that point because that's literally what it was. It was literally like I had a best friend, right? I knew it was time. Like, I knew it was time for us to, part ways. We were already getting distant. I was getting very frustrated with her a lot of the time. She was getting very frustrated. We were growing apart. And until I met the friend that was going to be my best friend afterwards, that we just didn't stop the friendship. Yeah. Like, we just didn't. And it doesn't mean that I was like, oh, no, hop on to the next. It wasn't like that. It was just like mentally, I could not cut a person off fully without having then something else to put my energy onto. Yeah. And it's like I said, I had to learn that, like, it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that. And sometimes there's like a person doesn't replace a person.
Yeah, no,
You know,
exactly.
a person does not replace. You don't have to lose a friend and then gain one the next day. Like that's just not how it is.
But the thing is, it's like it's not even losing because it's like say you're removed, a bad person's being removed from your life. That's not a loss; it's a gain.
Yeah.
Like you're gaining peace.
Yeah, it is. But for
I
some reason, we feel like
because we've lost someone.
Someone else has to. Yeah.
Someone
Someone else has to come straight
to fill the void.
To fill the void.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not the case. And like you saying, you are your own best friend at this time.
Yeah.
I went through that.
Yeah.
Like I remember explaining to you, I had no female friends, not one, and it was because I had to learn that I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine, and also that the female friendships that I did have were quite toxic.
Yeah. I can't lie, you told me some stories. I'm just Zara, this does not represent you.
Yeah, no. The growth that I have made friendship-wise in the last, 3 years has been ridiculous. Ridiculous. But, no, because I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but I met this girl in one of my lectures at the beginning of this term, and we was having a conversation. I explained it to you, and I was like, no, I was like a people pleaser. And she was like, huh? What? She's like, I would never put that past you. Like, I would never think that you had the pussy. I was like, no, definitely was.
You don't know how bad. Girl.
Yeah. It was. I'll give you my last lung type situations, like real bad. Like it was very bad, but. These lessons are there for those reasons. I will never ever regret those friendships. And they definitely taught me a fucking lot. But the biggest one was that I cannot be like that to people. I can only be in reciprocating situations. Whether it's exactly how I show my love is different.
Yeah.
But it has to be some sense of reciprocating situation. It just can't be a one-way friendship. Cannot be at all.
Can't be overextending yourself.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. And you have to be around people that support you. Yeah. Doesn't matter how they do that support. It's some kind of support.
Agree.
Because at the core of a friendship, if someone really does care about you, they will want to see you win.
100%. And even with that, Zara, I really struggle to understand why people can't be happy for their friends. They're doing so well. How do you not feel it's that's my friend?
Yeah.
When Zara came out with my podcast, I was like, that's my girl! I screamed. I was like, yes!
I know, you called me after.
I was I don't understand how people just can't be happy for their friends. I just don't understand it. I just can't because that's your person, not your person like that, but that's your friend.
Yeah.
They're doing something well for them. They're happy. That should make you happy.
Yeah.
Your heart should just light up a bit.
Yeah. And also, not to be not to put my friends on pedestals, but I have very high expectations of my friends. Because I have high expectations of myself.
Right, yeah.
And so the people that I'm around, all my friends know I expect the very best of them.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of whether it's small, big, humongous wins, I will always support their wins because that's what I expect.
Yeah.
I don't expect for us all to be sitting here having a pee party.
100%.
I
don't allow it.
Yes.
I don't want to hear you with your self-pity and you thinking that you're less than because I don't see that in you. So you should not see that in yourself.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's it.
Yeah.
You know, so if I see you as a boss, I see you as a winner, then why would I not be happy when that's what you're doing?
Right.
You know? But some people are not the nicest people. Some people are not the nicest friends.
Mm-hmm.
And even removing it from not being a nice friend, a lot of people, we've said this so many times, they're just protecting their own insecurities.
Yeah,
exactly. Because if they are not able to be very supportive or even just happy for your wins, then maybe internally they're not happy with where they're at.
Exactly.
And also, I don't think they should be your friends either.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard. But even I don't think situations like that should change your character. I feel like you should still be a good person. You should still be kind. Just know who to be good to, if that makes sense. Especially if you're kind of big on having your energy reciprocated.
True.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard as well though, because you can. I feel like, right. I feel like when you're not happy with where you're at, it's very hard to be happy for other people. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying you can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it depending on where someone is, it might be hard. For example, right? This isn't the case. We know this isn't the case. But say you came out with your makeup and stuff, and as much as I want to be happy internally, I know I'm not where I want to be yet. So it's that thing, like that wall literally preventing you from showing that happiness because you're dealing with so much shit internally.
Yeah.
It's like you're fighting yourself internally. Mm-hmm. I'll be fighting myself because it's like, Zara, you haven't done what the fuck you need to do.
Right.
I don't have the capacity to be happy for you yet. Even though I want to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes that those people need to be alone.
Yeah.
Because it's not up to you for you then to comfort me about my pity.
Because I'm doing well.
Because you're doing well.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with you. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I have to deal with that problem. I have to fix that. I have to go and find out what it is that I need to be doing. You know? I need to go and find out where that is coming from.
But see, this goes back to the point of self-awareness, right?
Yes.
People be struggling to be happy for others and not realizing that the problem is within them and that they need to fix it. They just think the problem is outside. The problem is that person who's being successful. And then they take all of that out on that person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a difficult one.
Yeah. I think we also have to, we don't, but I also want to explain that, like, just because your friends are doing certain things doesn't mean that you also need to be doing that.
Exactly.
You know? Like, at the beginning, I explained that I don't have any desire to own a business. I have no desire to be a CEO and have a product. I have absolutely no desire to do that. I have none, right? But I understood very quickly that I am a service provider.
Yeah.
I'm not a product provider. I am a service provider.
I was literally in my head, I'm like, you would profit from a service.
Yeah, but that isn't. I'm not creating a product.
Yeah, true.
The product might be a byproduct.
Yeah,
but it would never be the thing that I started with.
What's it? Tangible thing.
Yes, it would never be a tangible. My thing has always been services. That's how I've always operated.
Yeah,
that is what comes naturally to me, and that's where I've started. Whether or not in 5 years I change, but at this current moment, I have no desire to do that, and it's been like that for a couple of years now, right? However, it doesn't stop me from being proud of my friends that do and are product survivors and want to be product servers. Like, that's there. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. They want to provide products. You want to provide a product. And you're doing very fucking well at it. Do you get what I mean? But that's it.
Yeah.
There's no, I need to now, I should be
doing that.
No.
Yeah.
None of that. Do you get what I mean? And there are different fields that people go into. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many different companies, so many different, like, revenues. There wouldn't be so many different ways to make money. And I feel like we need to understand that, because most of the time, the thing that everyone talks about are product providers. We don't necessarily talk about service providers. We don't necessarily talk about other things that people do, other ways that people make money, other things that people do that make them fulfilled. You know, that always isn't the case. Artists don't necessarily make art because they want to sell the art. They make art because they enjoy making art. Them selling it and making money is a byproduct.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, that's not the reason why they do it. I don't sit here and talk because a YouTube video is going to get views and I'm going to make money. I sit here and talk because I like to talk. Do you get what I mean? And I like conversations and I like giving advice and I like having these things. But it's not to make the money at the end of the day. There are different avenues and there are different ways to make money, and that's also okay. And we need to start learning about that. Yeah. You know? Like, even other day, I remember the first time I learned what a ghostwriter was.
Really?
I remember the first time I learned. The other day.
Okay.
The other day I was remembering the first time that I learned what a ghostwriter was.
I was like, where you been? Under a rock?
No, I remember the first time I learned what a ghostwriter was, and it was like I was so confused that I was young, obviously, but I was so confused that like musicians don't make their own music.
Oh, that.
I was like, what do you mean?
Just like
they're on
taking
stage
them,
singing.
Yeah, take them off a pedestal. That is, it's like not. It's sore.
Yeah, it hurts.
Chest.
It hurts. What? But
yeah,
there are people behind the scenes that had no want to be famous, but just enjoyed writing songs, or enjoyed making beats, or enjoyed putting music together, and they did that, and they sell it, and they're happy about that.
Yeah.
And they still make all the money that they want to make, but they're not on the catwalks, they're not in the red, they're not doing the interviews. If they then decide to be in the spotlight, they can do that. But they're ghostwriters you never even think they appeared. Like you didn't even know that song was written by them. Do you get what I mean? And they're very much happy to do that. But no one talks about that side of it. You know?
Yeah, well, even songwriting and like remakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, what? That song's sampled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From where?
Yeah. No, but now because growing up, right, even now, I listen to a lot of like soul funk because my parents, my dad especially, and like the new songs that come out now, I know where it's sampled from.
Yeah.
I'm like, these people think this is some new shit. Nah, they took this back
from way back.
Yeah.
Or you hear a song and you have like a nostalgic feeling, you have no clue where it comes from.
Yeah.
Until you see a video and it's like, oh, it's sampled from. Okay, that's why I felt like all warm and fuzzy inside, because it's a song that my mom used to play to when I was a baby. That's why, like that's what we're doing. That makes sense. But like all of those things, there are thousands, millions, probably people behind the scenes that are making just the same amount of money, just as good careers, just as good, and they're not doing what everybody sees. Not everybody is the CEO of the company, but they might be the manager, and they might be making a whole lot of money.
The CEO barely be doing anything.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, they really don't.
They just got their name on it.
Right.
That's it.
Like, you think, who's that man? Apple? Steve Jobs. You think he came up with iPad? No?
No, no, not at all. He had a team that came up with an iPad.
Yes. And he told them to go to fix it.
He gave them critiques.
Yeah.
And they changed it.
I don't think he even was in favour of the iPad at first.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
I remember we watched that video. We did it for a lesson, one of our lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't like it.
Right.
They stopped producing it for like 5 or 10 years or something like that, and then they brought it back. And then they came out with the iPad, but it was already a thought out idea by someone working in the company.
Yeah.
And so these are the things that no one really talks about.
Yeah.
But he made just as much money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was very happy with his lifestyle. He's doing whatever else he wanted to do. Went on to make other things. But like, this is what we need to talk about, and it doesn't take away from what your friends are doing. Maybe you don't want to be in the limelight. Just because your friends are social media influencers doesn't mean that you can't manage their social media accounts.
Right. You
can be their assistant. You could be the photographer. You could be the videographer. Like, you can do all of those things as well that are going to make you just as much money. You don't have to have the YouTube channel, but you can learn how to edit. You know?
Like, the success isn't that person. It's what goes into the success, and it's around the person. It's not within them. You know what I mean?
Right. Because
I think of Sweetie with regards to that, because I think one of her best friends, she does her social media, like, creating and all of that stuff. And it's like Sweetie is successful by herself, but it's like she always credits her team. Loads of artists credit their team, but like if they didn't have a team,
there'd be nothing.
They would be nothing.
100%.
So yeah, sorry, I was talking over you.
I was gonna say even. I don't know what I was gonna say even about. Don't know. Don't remember. It'll come back at some point.
Yeah.
No, it just like disappears and then it comes back.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, you can still be a part of anything, everything that you do, and like we we're all learning skills without us knowing that we're learning those skills.
Yes.
And you can make those things jobs out of however it is you want to be doing those.
Mm-hmm.
And it should never be based on what your friend is doing or how they're doing it or what they've made that makes you want to get your shit together.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't... You should want to get your shit together regardless.
Yeah.
You know, you should want to do something you want to do regardless. And it should always be a passion of yours and coming from a purpose of yours. Because regardless, it doesn't matter how hard you put the work in. If now I'm sitting here saying I don't want to be a product provider, I saw Georgia come out with her makeup and then I went and came up with something else. I don't know. If I came out with lashes, I'm never going to do as well as Georgia because Georgia has passion in what she's doing. Georgia has a reason and a purpose for what she's doing. I'm just doing it because Georgia was doing it. So I'm never going to put in the same work.
But even with that, right, like with ideas and stuff, because like with lip glosses, there's loads of other people that do lip glosses, but like you said, the intention behind what you're doing can set you apart from everyone else.
100%.
You know, like, and as I was saying earlier, like, it's not just lip glosses, it's the feeling that you get when you apply the lip gloss. Like, I want women to feel like they are beautiful regardless. Like, there's no such thing as beauty standards in my world. I think beauty standards are bullshit. Complete bullshit. But yeah, like...
No, but they are anyway.
They are.
Just removing it from your world. Beauty standards
are bullshit. Like, they are. Like... No, let's talk about it, actually. Because it's actually BS.
No, it is.
Complete BS.
It is. Who sat there and decided this is beauty? Why?
Beauty's not a physical thing. Like, how it can't be a physical thing.
It's not.
Because the people, sometimes you see people who are I guess, mirror or reflect beauty standards. Yeah. You meet them and their energy's off.
They're horrible people.
And you can't see them as
anything after that.
Yeah,
like,
100%. No.
Like, like,
you know what? No.
I saw, what was it called? I saw, if you've seen You or if you're watching You at this current moment, it's not a spoiler, don't worry. But I was watching an interview that they did with the two characters. And she asked him, like, do you think that the actors that they play, so the two main characters, do you think that they were actually soulmates in this season? And he goes, well, I mean, we don't really talk about souls that much, do we? But we love a soulmate. It's like, it's so true. Like, we don't talk about souls, you know, and how important that is. But we love to talk about a soulmate and whether or not we think someone is our soulmate for some reason. Right. That makes loads of sense. Yeah. But we don't talk about people as souls and spirits and, like, things outside of their bodies.
We talk of people as, like, their bodies. Yeah. The physicality of them.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens when we talk about beauty. We are not talking about that person as a soul, as a spirit, as an energy. We're talking about that person as their body, their face, their physical being. Yeah. And that has absolutely nothing to do with their beauty. Because when you talk to someone, that's when you actually understand their beauty. That's when you see their beauty.
100%.
You know?
100%.
And we were saying...
Beauty isn't an aesthetic.
No, it's not at all. It's how you feel. Like, it's how that person makes you feel.
Yeah, it's the energy.
Yeah, it's what they give.
Warm embrace. Yeah. It's something that's metaphysical.
Yeah. And that everyone receives.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Everyone receives it regardless. And that person doesn't change whether or not they have loads of makeup on.
And you know what? And you know it's facts. Because you know how many, not girls, but like people be like, oh, you know, they're really nice person. They're a really beautiful person. Like, you know how some girls would say, oh, like, I don't want to say this, but like, you know when they talk about ugly guy, and he became fine. He was never ugly.
He was never ugly. His appearance, his body.
You've just been conditioned to think that his appearance or his physical body is ugly.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you think beauty is a tangible thing. You think it's an aesthetic. No, beauty is it's an energy. It's a feeling. It's, like I said, it's a warm embrace. You know. Yeah. And like the soul. Just
like
you don't see souls.
No, you feel it. Like even I don't know how many episodes this was ago. Damn, we've been here for a long time. But anyways,
Hey,
so we actually have. No, like we've been here like in this sofa for a very long time. But we was talking about authenticity and how like the people that we've always been drawn to are the people that are the most authentic in themselves.
Yeah.
And even that doesn't matter what they're doing, what they look like. It's that feeling of knowing that they are living in themselves and living out themselves regardless of where they are and what they're doing. And that's what you can feel. You can always feel that. And so if that is taken then into your brand, if that is taken into your purpose, if that's taken into the service that you're trying to provide, people will always feel that, you know. And that's the only thing that I've ever wanted. That is the only thing that I've ever wanted, regardless of whatever I make, whatever I do, however I show that. I always want people to understand that what I'm trying to give is warmth. Yeah, like that's literally it. You know, I want you to make you feel happy. I want to make you feel like you're good enough to do whatever it is that you want to do. That is it.
Like, I want you to see the magic in you.
In you, yeah, not in me.
Yeah,
I want to show you that in you.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I've ever
even
wanted
that
to
it's
do.
like, if you can see it in me, you will see it in you.
100%.
If you know it's there, it's within you.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. So, anyways, I think we're done. That's all I wanted to say. So, we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Bye, guys. Bye.